Hello Aquarius, welcome back to the Guiding Chariot. This is your boy TC. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to February. This is going to be your new general reading for the month of February. We are going to pull some cards. We're going to look into the energy surrounding you. Since it is February and Valentine's Day is coming up, we are going to pull a love oracle at the end, so stay tuned for that. But this is going to be your general check-in. I do recommend that you check out the new chariot chats. That should be up by the time this is posted, because we're editing it right now, so that should be up. Definitely check that out. It goes through the astrology of the month, so I'm not really going to talk about it here, but I dive through it there, and then we talk about some crystals as well. I wanted to start with you guys because the fixed signs especially are getting a lot of energy this month. Aquarius, you guys are no exception. You have 5, soon to be 6 planets in your sign. So there's a lot of boosting going on for you. And it can go one of two ways. Oh, let me apologize in advance. It's kind of a busy day in the neighborhood, so you might hear some background noises. It's super gray today, which I personally love, but you may hear the rain. It's starting to fall now, so you may hear some action in the background, just to give you guys a heads up. But anyway, with all these planets in your sign, with all these helpers trying to boost you and close out some cycles and start some new ones, that energy can go one of two ways. Either you feel like everything is starting to move super, super quickly, right? You're feeling supported and boosted and things are moving, or it could be so much that we can't handle it, right? And it really depends on how we react to things. So some of you, will be a mix of the two, but essentially it's either there might be too much going on, or like if you can keep in balance and kind of go with the flow and be adaptable, this energy will feel really, really good to you, right? So it's all how we play with it. With that being said, let's start getting to your cards. House rules apply as always. Time and energy is fluid, so even though I do this with the intention of it being, for the next 4 weeks, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little slower, feel free to reverse the characters in whatever story pops up, especially if you're a cross-watcher. Some messages may not resonate, so if it doesn't fit your situation, just means it wasn't for you. Leave that on the table and take the rest. Alright, Aquarius. What messages do we have for Aquarius? But Aquarius, because you are a fixed sign, if you haven't seen the chariot chat already, I definitely recommend you go check it out. Especially just to go through the astrology of the month. You'll kind of know what's happening, when it's happening, how you can possibly react to it, what's going on. All super, super helpful. Oh, I might have to close my windows. I'm getting distracted by the rain. I don't know about you guys out there. I absolutely love when it rains. Absolutely love it. We're not going to get any more out of you? Is that all we have to say? Okay. So Aquarius, you've got one main message coming up. Hear the ancient ones. We're going to keep shuffling, but we're going to talk about that for a little bit. But hear the ancient ones. That is actually honestly okay, there we go. That honestly is a pretty deep communication. When you think about it, so you guys, if you get messages through dreams, if you have a strong intuition, you get those little nudges, those little gut feelings that tell you something's coming, or gives you the sense that a certain type of thing might happen, that totally is your vibe right now. Having this card, Hear the Ancient Ones, there is ancestral communication, there is spiritual communication. You may even be receiving messages through finding, lost items. Like you might be walking around, you find a feather, right? And I wouldn't say don't go out looking for feathers, but if that's like your thing, if like when you see a feather on the ground, oh, looks like the wind's picking up. If you see a feather on the ground and that's something you normally read as a message, those are your guides, trying to communicate, trying to bring your attention to something. So if you start seeing synchronicities and little messages like that, be very aware of what you were thinking of at the moment. Whatever Even if it was just a little passing thought, and then you notice, maybe a lucky penny on the ground or something like that. Be very aware of when those things are happening, because that literally is your ancestors trying to bring your attention to something. I mean, could it be any better? We are all connected. Yes, especially you guys right now. Considering all the planetary energy that's boosting your sign right now, considering all the astrology that's coming up in this month, Aquarius, you guys are so tapped in, it's not even funny. And see the truth, right? With see the truth coming up, and owls are always known as a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, right? Having that pop up in this spread. Oh, I didn't realize you couldn't really see those. Let's move those. Okay. Having that pop-up symbol, and then speaking to all these messages that are coming in, and how interlaced your intuition and the spiritual are right now. There's something in your circumstance that may be frustrating, confusing, and again, this will be different for everyone. So it might some of you might be in romance, some of you might be work, some of you might be personal. It could be maybe a combo of things. But it looking at this, I almost want to say that and when I say they, I mean your ancestors, whoever's trying to communicate to you, your guides, they're trying to show you your higher self, they're trying to show you the truth behind the situation. I almost question if you have a different perspective of whatever is happening, whatever, the task at hand is. I almost see almost as if you're looking at it the wrong way. What you're seeing isn't necessarily the truth. Or even for some of you, emotional things might be tinting your view of something, for good or for bad, right? Like, we might be remembering something sweeter than it really is now, or, lost in the past, and the present is a little different. So it just feels like Spirit's really trying to give you a heads up. For some of you, it may even be as big as needing a bit of a course correct, and Spirit's trying to, cut you off at the pass, right? Like, before you go too far, I'm trying to, get you to turn around and go back. And again, it may not even be a bad thing, right? I'm talking about it as, as it might be a situation, but it may not even be that bad. Oh, it's really raining now. I hope you can still hear me. All right. Let's get some messages for you. Hold on, I'm going to try to close the window, see if it'll make it. It's a little quieter. Slightly. Maybe that'll help, I don't know. Alright, Aquas. Gotta love that. See? And look what's in the middle of your reading. Alright. Aquas. Bottom of the deck right now, 5 of Pentacles. So some of us out there might be feeling a little down, might be feeling very alone, might be feeling like there's no support around us, that we wish there was someone by our side. Whether this could be family, this could be romance, friends, work. Again, apply it where it makes sense to your situation. But there's this feeling that there's no help, there's no support, there's no resources for us, and we really are kind of just stuck, all alone, isolated, wanting, right? This is such a lack mentality. And yet, look at that, underneath, you have the Magician. So how different could these messages be? And again, this is what I was talking about, that perception. You may be feeling this way, but you truly have everything you need here with this Magician card, right? So let's go through, because honestly, these cards are fabulous. They are really good. So in this top row, we have the King of Pentacles here. So definitely focus on our abundance. Where's the money coming from? Our stability, where we feel secure, right? And, yes, this is the Suit of Pentacles, so it normally talks to material gain. But security can also affect us emotionally too, right? So, and honestly, looking at this card, security is the biggest thing that I get. So some of you, whether we are seeking security, trying to hold on to our security, whatever that looks like to us, I almost want to say we're truly and desperately either trying to preserve it, get to that level. Like, that is a big focus right now. And then you have the Two of Pentacles, right, which is all about being flexible, being fluid, being willing to bend. And honestly, when you watch the chariot chat video, that is the big theme for this month, is being willing to adapt, being willing to change, not being so rigid in your thinking, in your practices, livelihood, anything. So there's a big need for you to balance and shift, because I think this is that perception that, you know, your guides are trying to get you to understand the truth, to see behind it. There is a need to flex. There is a need to, you know, do something new and different, right? We're trying to break some type of pattern or some type of cycle here for you. Let's move you guys up. And then here we have the Knight of Wands. So here we get some fire, some passion, some drive. This is that energy that's asking you to act, right? To move. This is where we have to start doing something. So I will say, for most of us, we may not necessarily be at that point yet, but the journey you're on this month is getting you to the point where you can run, right? And again, it may honestly be a very big I don't want to say a big change for you, but it will be different and new. You know, I keep looking at this drum, and it's making me think, you know, marching to the sound of your own drum, or to the beat of your own drum, and then we have this horse over here trying to run and just be free and be wild. This is you breaking free of that cycle. Oh, it's getting really loud. I may just have to film this again. All right. Then we have the Three of Wands here, right? So this, again, having it come under this security, this is something you've been seeking for a long time, something you've been waiting for, right? And whatever version you've decided this is your true security, this is your source, you've been waiting for it for a long time. Whatever this wish is, right? Because Nine of Cups is all about the wishes being granted, emotional fulfillment. You've been seeking this for a long time. I would almost argue, and again, don't shoot the messenger, I would almost argue that you've been looking for a long time because you've been looking for a certain version of it, and literally Spirit is telling you that's not it. That's not it. Like, you're settling if you're trying to make sure it happens this particular way, right? So honestly, I think things are definitely going to change for you, Aquarius, in a great way. So center of your reading, you have the Ace of Swords. This is truth. This is perspective, clarity, understanding. This is communication coming in. And you also have Mercury retrograde going on in your sign this month. So talk about the perfect storm for revisiting and re-editing and revising something from your past. This is what is happening for you, Aquarius. There is a whole opportunity for you to shift and understand things in a whole new way that I think will truly change your priorities and your focuses. You have here the Five of Wands, which is all about internal conflict. So there may be some self-doubt going on. We know that we have the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, right? So there's definitely some internal struggles happening. This could be, you know, sometimes it can be conflict surrounding you. So maybe you're having disagreements with family, friends, something like that. To me, the Five of Wands isn't as bad as in the Five of Swords. So I don't always see this as external. So if it is external conflict, honestly, I'm linking it back to that perspective. You know, you may be seeing it as aggressive or unsupportive or combative, and maybe that's not really the case. You know, someone in that scenario might just be feeling emotional and reacting a certain way, but they truly don't mean it, or they're saying things out of fear or out of pain, when, you know, that's not truly their intention, or, you know, they don't really feel that way. It's just in the heat of the moment we're getting all angry and ticked off, right? This honestly could help you, having it underneath the Ace of Swords, this particular vibe. Yes, it could be tense, and yes, it's not something we want to be in, but this may be the, like, uncomfortableness, for lack of a better word, that helps to push you forward, that helps to push you to more, right? It's like all the pressure and tension in a champagne bottle, but then once you release the cork, right, once we get this understanding, all of that is released, but it's that pressure that helps to open you up, right? This is the pushing force that's trying to uncork you. Cool. And then we have the Two of Wands. So, sometimes this can be discouraging going from the 3 to the 2, right? We've gone a step back. But instead of waiting for something that's not right for us, something that's not ideal, we're kind of taking a step back to reorganize our thoughts, to reprioritize, right? We're going to put some new intentions out into the world. You can see this little globe here, right? So it's like mapping out the journey ahead, mapping out the new future. And then what do we have under there? Six of Swords, travel. So some of you might be planning a getaway, some of you might be moving on to new things, but just basic energetically, Six of Swords is all about moving forward. The hard times are in the past, things are going to get easier. So with that being said, Aquarius, February might be a bit of a tense month. It might be a little tricky. There might be moments that feel kind of tense and make you want to pull your hair out. Again, your focus is just to flow with it. Don't fight it. Especially again if you're getting those little intuitive pings. Don't be so rigid in that. No. This is how I've done it. This is what I've been doing. I need to keep it this way. This is not the month to hold on to that. This is the month to adapt and flex. Which again, I get it. Not something that's supernatural to a fixed sign, but that's what is being asked of you and all of us this month. Okay, let's pull. Oh. Yes. I bet that does it. Let's see. Got it. No, we're not going to take this. We get one more spirit. Oh, someone flipped over in here. I saw it. And it's you. We're taking that. That couldn't be any more perfect. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. So things are shifting, things are moving. We're changing it up. So at first, I love this. Your first card, King of Wands. So we start with the King of Pentacles, right? Trying to find where we're grounded, trying to feel secure, stable. Maybe make sure our finances are in order. And then we come up and we kind of transform ourselves into the King of Wands. This guy is all about action, passion, motivation, desires. He's also very instinctual, right? He follows his guts. If this is what he wants to do, he has the self-determination and the resolve to make it happen, to follow it through, to just go ahead and do it, right? Where this king is kind of sitting back, this guy is leaning in. Actually, now that I say that and look at, he literally, King of Pentacles, laying back in his little comfy study. King of Wands leaning forward. He's trying to engage, right? So this month really is about you, instead of, not saying that you're resting and not doing anything. That's not what I'm hinting at. When I say the King of Pentacles is leaning back, again, he's trying to find comfort, right? He's trying to find stability, and he just wants to sit in that. This month is about getting you to act. We're trying to push you into more, Aquarius. So this month really is trying to get you to move. Literally, we're trying to get you to move. We have the Ace of Pentacles here in the reverse. You know me, if you've been watching my videos, I never really think aces really get reversed. There's such a pure, positive energy. Now, what I think this is popping up in, it's just being delayed a bit. And again, it's because this perception shift has to change. What you thought your pentacle was going to be isn't in your highest good. There's something better out there. So it's almost kind of like Spirit's I've got this thing for you, but you keep wanting the cheaper version when I have this really nice, fancy, perfect one. So I'm just going to hold on to it for you until you realize that you want more than the little cheapy version, right? So I do kind of almost feel like this is being held from you until we get this perspective, until we reach this particular understanding, right? Because remember, whatever's in the center of the spread, this is super, super important. This is the kind of key element. So again, it's that perspective. It's the way you see things. Huge thing for you right now. And then here we have the star card, Aquarius season, This is your card. This is you. Your energy showing up in the reading. You need to be incredibly present this month. Incredibly present. And I think a big part of that is because of this need to be willing to change, be willing to do something different, be willing to trust that, breaking the norm, breaking the status quo will be all right. Even the fact that it started pouring raining right as I started your reading, literally right here. Those are those ancient ones reaching out to you. Pay attention. We're trying to wash all of this old stuff away. This is going to be a big month for you, Aquarius. And like I said, it may be tense, it may be rough. That kind of sounded like a song. But if you can just roll with the punches, take the guidance when you can, and be willing to change, it will be well worth your efforts. And since it is the Ace of Swords, there's your card. She went flying. Anyone else? No? Okay. Since you have the Ace of Swords at the center, some of you this may be super helpful to talk about what's going on, even if it's about seeking professional help. Sorry, to go get that bad boy off the floor. Look at that. Stay optimistic about your love life. Yes. So whether you are single looking for a relationship, if you're in a relationship that might be a little frustrating at the moment, hope for the best. You also have the Star card, which is all about hope and faith and optimism. Believe in miracles, Aquarius. No matter how tense things are now, no matter how tense they seem through the month, keep the faith. Good things are coming, but there's a little growth point that we need to have first. Alright, my lovelies, I'm going to wrap up your reading here, mostly because I'm just worried that you can't hear me. If that's the case, we'll figure that out. But wishing you the best as always, Aquarius. If you haven't already, please check out the Chariot Chats videos. You guys have been loving it. I'm loving doing them, so definitely all the feedback you have for it, just so we can make it as beneficial as possible. Please hit me up in the comments. Smash the like button on this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know. It lets me know how it resonated for you, which I really appreciate. And as always, take care, stay safe, and I will see you in your next video. Bye, Aquas.